farm, preserve the farmer, preserve the farmer, preserve the farm. How will you ensure that prime Ontario farmland, classes 1, 2, 3, and 4, is protected as farmland to preserve the future of Ontario food production? We start with Loralea.
Thank you, Jamie. That's a great question. It's something that I've been hearing from farmers since I've been nominated as a candidate here. And it's definitely a two-pronged approach. In our budget platform, we have a Farms Forever program that talks about providing legal fees for farmers who want to put their farmland in trust so that it's protected as farmland. But more importantly, when I'm talking with farmers, it's not about protecting the farmland with legal measures, but it's about keeping farms viable. If we can make farms viable, then the farmers will protect the land themselves, is what they tell me. So I think that there's a lot of things that Liberals have done to ensure that farming is a viable occupation, and we need to continue with those things. So one of the things is the $400 million fund that we've set aside for agriculture to help grow the sector and help fund machinery to grow agri jobs. We also have the natural gas line hookups for rural that will also affect the rural farms too. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and I certainly appreciate the question. I think that it's something that has been an issue for generations back when the end of the city was Bloor Street, and then it was St. Clair, and then it was Eglinton, and now it's wall to wall. So there's no doubt about the seriousness of it. But I think that in today's world, when we look at successful units of agricultural activity around the world, they depend on the ability of the farmer to make a living. And as soon as that happens, then the land is taken care of and preserved for the next generation. Being able to make a living also includes transportation services to market. It also means better ways of preserving land, making it contiguous, not having pockets of Class 1 farmland with spaces in between. It's more than just that when municipalities and counties are looking at official plans. There are many things that, I know I don't have time, but the most important one is recognizing the economic viability of that farm, and then it will be there. But it has to have the kind of support, whether it's markets, whether it's transportation, those are and innovation.
First things first, we have to stop things. Our leader is the only leader that signed the Food and Water First Pledge to protect prime farmland in Ontario and our source water. As far as I'm concerned, farmers should be our richest citizens in Ontario. What's more valuable than food? And my roots are from the farm. The problem is we're not dealing with this from the input end about why we are paving over our farms. It's the commodification of land. It's that, farmers are surely tempted to sell pieces of land when they can make large sums of money to then have housing developments put on it. But really, there's no blaming anyone. Nobody here is trying to destroy society. There's no evil people that are trying to destroy our farmland. It's just that we don't have a vision. There's no vision for how we want to live and how we should organize our society. So until we have that vision, it's very difficult to create policies that match that. I can only imagine what future archaeologists will say, that we basically paved over and polluted our own nest, that we took our richest farmland and we polluted the very systems that gave us life. My dad was head of the Ontario Greenbelt, and we need things like the Liberals to stand up and defend the Greenbelt that they implemented and do what the the environment ombudsman said and create things that allow us to measure whether it's actually working and have criteria to determine whether we're actually being successful.
Thank you.
Well, so one of the issues is trying to break down huge issues like this into 1 minute. So
I realize that, Pete, and you know what? You can rebut anything else for another one.
Absolutely.
That's the fun part. Put your hand up and tell me you want a rebuttal on it.
You got a bell coming.
Oh, I got the bell. Oh,
They got me a bell.
we have a stopwatch.
We have a stopwatch, so the bell's coming. Yeah, we are.
And the bell's
So
coming.
farmland preservation is an incredibly important issue.
I'll just edit you.
And some of the problems that we've seen is poor planning policies at the provincial level. So we have the provincial policy statement which governs planning decisions in this province, and that's the document that the cities and towns in this province refer to when they decide whether or not to approve development on farmland. As a lawyer working for farmers, we pressed very hard, and I can tell Peter that farmers do have a vision. Farmers in this province do have a vision for agricultural land protection, and we pushed for that vision very hard. We need policies that recognize that farming is an economic activity. Right now, our provincial policy statement treats farmland like it's just land sitting there waiting to be developed. It doesn't treat it like employment land. It doesn't treat it like it's an economic asset. So we asked for those amendments, and we didn't get them, unfortunately.
There we go. A lame sounding bell. It's from a school, I'm sorry. Thank you. Loralea, you put your hand up.
I think the other thing that's important to keep in mind, I was at the Marsh conference, and they talked, so I was talking with a farmer there who talked about red tape and how much that interferes with the business of farming. And the Liberal government has an open for business policy that is designed to cut down on red tape, that every time a new piece of business or new regulation comes into play, 2 others have to be taken off the books. So it's about breaking down the silos and avoiding duplication between different ministries. But the aim of it is to end the red tape, that the regulations that are handicapping farmers from being able to do their business.
Peter, did you want in?
Well, just to, in this limited time to suggest that you may be able to infer that the Green Party is a party who you can trust to put the interests of farmers and our land ahead of winning and at all costs. And to please look at our platform so that you can get into some more intricate details of our plan to do the kinds of things that my father was pushing for when he was chair of the Green Belt.
So, farmers experience lots of red tape in Ontario, and some of that red tape comes in the form of bloated and inconsistent environmental legislation. I've pressed very hard for clarifications in the Clean Water Act. I know as an environmental lawyer that farmers struggle every day with the Nutrient Management Act, and with zoning restrictions on on-farm processing, which are really hurting our farmers. So I would be a strong advocate for really streamlining those things and making our regulatory system effective at environmental protection without punishing farmers, without punishing good land stewards for taking care of their properties.
It's for the reasons that have been given that I suggested in my opening remarks, how important red tape was, in particular in agriculture. We've heard all of these examples to demonstrate why it's in our platform that it will begin immediately.
In terms of food, what most people are eating these days is not really food.
Can't hear you.
It's things that are packed with sugars that are causing diseases and things that monopolies have that we can't hear.
No, they can't hear it.
Sure.
We're on to our next question.
Okay, may I just
We'll be getting to it.
So,
You had to rebuttal.
okay.
Thank you. Julie, you want to